Hi, this is Linda West with Living Live Media. Today, I have the honor and pleasure of interviewing Miro Heyink. He's not here yet, though, so you're going to start with me. I'm hoping that I have some information that's going to be helpful for you, whether you are currently working in a corporate job or you recently left a corporate job. This is going to be some really good information. I'm looking forward to having Miro join me. And every once in a while, just so you know, I will be looking down at my computer screen because I want to see if he's hopped on. Oh, he just sent me a message that he's having some tech challenges. So hopefully he'll be able to get in really soon. So I'll just keep looking down there to have him join us. What we're planning on talking today, though, is that if you are working in a corporate job and you had those golden handcuffs on, I was there. I've had 49 jobs. So I've had 49 handcuffs on that I had to release. So if you want to break free of your golden handcuffs, if you have dreams that you feel like they are just out of reach, that you're not going to be able to reach them. If you're a high achiever or you're a leader and you feel like you're getting burnout, these are some of the topics we're going to be talking about today. So welcome to Living Live Media. Let me see, Miro is trying to get on your guest. We need to connect. He needs to connect his webcam. So hold on one second while I just tell him real quick, telling him he needs to connect his webcam. You need to. Normally, when we have technical difficulties, you just never know what's going to happen. You know, this is live video. That's one thing that's cool about it. So I'll just pop this up there. How to launch your dream. Let's see here. Well, I'm getting a bunch of little messages that are popping up. How to launch your dreams and escape the corporate world. We're going to be able to share that information with you today. And then, oh, hold on a second. I got a message from Miro. Okay, he's here. Hold on. Need to connect your webcam. Okay, let's see. I can. Oh, there you are.
You?
Hello, how are you today?
Hey, I'm doing fantastic. How are you, Linda? Thank you so much for having me.
Good. Are you on a computer or phone?
I am on a computer, and you know, just as the universe has it, it wasn't gonna have me be on live TV today. So
okay.
Yeah.
Oops. Okay, he disappeared, so I'm not sure what happened. So let me send him another message. Wait, here he's back. We'll just keep trying this. Okay, you're back.
We're back. So I'm the mysterious person with just kind of a dot here. I'm here, and I can hear you, and you can hear me.
Okay, cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put on screen this. I don't know if can you see what's on my screen right now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, cool. So today we're going to be talking about how to launch your dreams and escape the corporate world. We're going to talk about the golden handcuffs, you know, how you started Manifest X, what that is, and why do we care about it, right? So that's some of the things we're going to talk about today. But before we get started, I want to share that I'd like you guys to go and like my page, Living Live Media. And it's on Facebook. Go like that page, Living Live Media, where we provide fun, positive, and uplifting content. And then also, if you want to connect with Miro, go to his Facebook page at Miro Heyink. Did I say your last name correctly, Miro?
You did, and it makes me happy every time it happens.
I hear you. You know, anytime people spell my name right, I'm like, oh my gosh, they actually paid attention and spelled my name right, because my name is with a Y, so it's a little different. So, and then also, let's see, lastly here, we're going to get started. Let's just get started. So Miro, why don't you share with us what Manifest X is and like, how did you start that?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I mean, first of all, huge gratitude and thank you to you, Linda, for inviting me and having me here. I'm super happy to share audiences today. Even seriously, without a picture today, I'm sure that we'll get the point across and the message delivered.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Yeah. My favorite story, and it actually comes from a lot of sort of breakdowns and then breakthroughs that Manifest X came about. And the fundamental belief of Manifest X is that truly anything is possible, and that if you truly understand that anything is possible, then what is it that matters? Like what is so important that you want to achieve that? And so the story how this came about is really my personal one. And it started right here. I'm in Germany right now, visiting family. And I grew up here. I grew up in Germany, and I lived in California and in Kansas City, Missouri. But on my journey, you know, I had this dream. You know, I had this childhood dream as a kid, coming from like a broken family, you know, single parent household, lots of depression, drugs, and like a history of suicide in my family, and just lots of factors, environmental factors that would make it typically really hard for somebody to be, I'm going to say, quote unquote, successful.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I've had this childhood, and I've always wanted to come to America. And when I was a kid, I was not good at school. I was kind of a brown kid, kind of like an outsider in a all otherwise white community, and felt really different. And also because I made early on, I believed some poor things about myself. I made a lot of poor choices, and I had peer pressure come on. And by the time I was 16 years old, I was already regularly drinking and using drugs. I was selling weed. I was moved out of my own home and was just basically selling drugs to live a destructive lifestyle. And led me to a path of having a near-death experience. And this was the first time that I really understood what's possible in our lives if we be proactive and really creators in our lives. And so what happened was I found myself on a balcony on the 16th floor of my studio apartment at the time. And next thing you know, I don't know if you can hear, this is my son. He's calling me in the background. He's supposed to go to bed.
Oh.
Yeah. It's wonderful sharing that now, because at the time, man, I actually, was at the edge of a balcony, and I almost was pushed off by 8 gang members.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so check this out, Linda. They kicked in my door. They beat me up. I had a black eye, a broken nose, and me at 16, in Hamburg City, this big city, on the edge of the 7th floor balcony, being essentially held over the edge, and shown that if I don't start selling cocaine for them and become part of their criminal organization, that they would kill me. So that night was kind of a transformation.
Yeah, what'd you do?
Yeah, that was the transformational experience number one. I first laid in my bed and was terrified. I had this door broken in because I kicked it in. I had my nose kicked in, and my eye was black, and so I was scared to death. I realized that every time the elevator would come up and go ding, I was back to finish me off. And I realized at this moment that I wanted to make a change in my life, a profound change in my life, and that in this moment I discovered the courage. And you know all about fear and courage, right? Courage to actually follow my dream, that childhood dream that I had pushed off to go to America. And once I made the decision that I wanted to change my life and create a life that I enjoy living, the universe or natural laws kicked in, and everything started happening for me. So something that was completely impossible for a kid with no relationships in America, no scholarships, right? This is a picture of me being in Germany with my friends, my childhood friends.
Mm-hmm.
So even though we had this experience, lacking all the documentation, so I didn't have, the papers to be here, or otherwise all the things, tons of money that I was told you should have, like 6 billion people want to be in America, right? I didn't get it. So I didn't have those things, but still, because I made a decision and I believe, so to speak, in my dream, things started happening for me. And that's kind of been the fundamental initiation of my my future. It's kind of set a trajectory. Because here's what happened next, Linda. Pretty exciting happened, because once I came to America and I followed my dream and I just committed all in, miracles started happening. I got the relationships that I could have never dreamed of. I received scholarships, and even though I'd never had a chance in college, or I was believed to be kind of not sort of college material, I was offered a scholarship, and I started volunteering here in America and helping homeless kids and homeless men, and all I can say is, something unlocked with that suddenly everything became possible. And so how this relates to Manifest X and how Manifest X came about, I was really successful, I'm going to say, on paper, right? So I kept getting promoted. I was making amazing money, right? I had this prestigious consulting gig working for big brands like Ford Motors, US Soccer, and kept getting promoted. And at the same time, I felt deeply unfulfilled within. And I know a lot of people are going through this right now. 4 out of 5 people are actually unhappy with their jobs or their career, and depression is through the roof. And this is where I found myself. So Manifest X came about when I had another elevator moment, I was just literally commuting from work home, and one time I had thoughts in my head of like swerving into the oncoming traffic. There was a semi truck on the left, and the bridge, the blue water of the Missouri River on the right. And I was going to swerve to the left or right. In that moment, I had to make a decision to change my life. And as soon as I made that decision, Linda, guess what happened?
Miracles.
Exactly. Like the right people up. I've met my first coach, and the trajectory of my life completely changed. And that's when I knew, like, I have gifts that are far beyond what I've been doing, and I've been selling myself short. And being able to help other people to find purpose in their lives and get clear on their vision and really rewire their minds for success and truly support them and believe in them. That's kind of been born to become as a start. Now, where we're taking this, it's going to be, it's going to be more than, I really believe that it's going to be more than supporting people on a one-on-one level, which is what I do now. But ultimately, I stand for, anything is possible as a society, as humanity. Like, what is the abundance on the planet? What's really possible for all of us? And in that process, I discovered just some things that really don't work. A lot of things that really don't work, and some good mindsets that help with actually creating something.
Yeah, I hear you. So let's talk about that, because because in the story we can only tell our story in so many minutes, right? But this wasn't like boom, it happened, boom, 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 like that, right? I mean, because you had these epiphanies, but then you had to actually take the action to make it happen. So how did you find? You said you had a life coach. How did you find this life coach, and how did this life coach help you to discover the steps that you needed to take to get to where you are today? Because your mindset didn't just change overnight, or did it? I mean, because if it did, that's amazing. That's so cool.
Right. Yeah. So how did this change happen? I'm going to step away so that my son won't keep yelling in our ears. Good night, Elliot. We're going to have a nice conversation with our friend Linda, and you're going to bed. Yes. I get the benefits of being the entrepreneur who's also a dad, and it's a great life.
I hear you.
Yeah. So,
well, I'm not a dad, but
I'd be surprised if you were. So, to answer your question, I'm kind of going over here in my echo chamber where we're
so that room that you're in right now is not going to work because it's very echoey. So you need to go to someplace because I just can't hear you very well in that. So let's go to a different room. And in the meantime, if you guys want to make an appointment with Miro, go to livinglive.tv/MIRO. That'll take you straight to his calendar link on Calendly, and you can make an appointment with him. So it's a 30-minute session. Again, it's livinglive.tv/Miro. Go there and make an appointment with him today. Are you back? Oh, his audio is muted. Let's see.
Okay, yeah.
There we go. Okay, there we go.
Okay, we're back.
Okay.
Yeah, so thank you for that. Honestly, when you're ready, when you're ready to make a change in your life, you just kind of make a decision, and then the right people will come to you, and the opportunities will align. And so,
wait, let's talk about that, because I come from the same belief system. Like I grew up in a very negative environment. We were poverty. We never knew if we were going to eat month to month. And I grew up in gang neighborhoods. And so I didn't have the same exact experiences as you. But when I'm sharing this, the reason I'm sharing this is because it changes. I mean, our mindset is different when we grow up in that, because that's all we know. So to make that shift, like you say, something like when you make that decision, then people show up in your life. So for those who haven't experienced this before, how can you help them to see that this is true?
Sure. So, for example, if anyone is listening right now who feel like I'm feeling stuck, right? Like maybe I'm having all the benefits of my life and it gets comfortable, but I also know deep down inside, like there's something, my true potential is being held back, and I don't feel purposeful in my life, right? Like honestly, if anybody listening so far is like your ears are perking up, then maybe this is the energy attracting. I believe that the universe and the world is giving us exactly what we need to get to where we need to go. And we're also only one relationship away from completely changing our lives. So, so I'd invite anybody to have a conversation and feel it out, like what is really going on in their lives, where do they really want to take it, because this is what lights me up, This is my passion. People find their superpower. And I just had a conversation with a woman who just saw one of my posts on Facebook. So, you know, friend me on Facebook. And basically what she found is that after 20 minutes of talking, that she had deep inside this powerful purpose. And I won't share her name, I will share part of her story. It just unleashed within 20 minutes. It's something she's been bottling up for 10 years. So for 10 years, she's lived with a dream and something that's going to make a big difference in the world that hasn't come out. And I think there's millions of people who are going through this right now. And I think what drives me too is like, I just don't want to waste. I've lived the life of wasting my life. And if I can somebody else do the opposite, right? Stop wasting their lives, but step into something bold, like powerful and fulfilling instead. Like that lights me up.
Well, so let's. I like that. And, let's talk about that woman for 10 years, because there's a story of the Chinese bamboo tree. Have you ever heard that story?
Yes, I love.
Yeah. So that woman. So I was that woman you're talking about. 10 years. Mine was 51 years, right? So it took me 51 years before I finally discovered that I had some value. And then once it was that person in my life, just you're talking about, you were the person in her life that 10 years it had been bubbling up, bubbling up, bubbling up. And so even though you weren't there during that 10 years for her, it's still been bubbling up and she's been on the verge, but you were the person, you were the catalyst. You were the person, her aha moment, who just said something to her that was like, oh my God, that's it. And so what happens in life, I believe, we like you said, everything that's happening to us is happening to us like it's supposed to happen to us. It's on the trajectory. This is what we're supposed to go through. So even if you're going through a bad time right now, what'll happen is you will come out of that bad time and you'll have learned some amazing lessons that you can then impart on others. And you can also carry those lessons into your future. And so with this woman, she had this thing bubbling up, but she was able to get on a call with Miro. And in a matter of 20 minutes, he was able to see something that she wasn't seeing. He was the person who was put into her life at that moment so she could have that aha moment, which is so amazing. So I just wanted to share that, because the Chinese bamboo tree, it takes 5 years of cultivating it, of watering it every single day for 5 years before it even breaks the ground. And then when it breaks the ground, in a matter of 5 weeks, it's 80 feet tall. So the question is, did it take the Chinese bamboo tree 5 years to grow, or did it take it 5 weeks? Well, really, it's 5 years and 5 weeks to grow. So as just like human beings, we're the same thing. But we need to break through that surface. So we have someone like Miro come into our life who helps us to break through that surface. And then we get to sprout and grow like crazy.
Thank you, Linda. That's exactly right. So without sharing names, I'll just tell you what happened with this woman.
Yeah, please.
It was so powerful. It was such a powerful experience, and so rewarding for me too, as basically the facilitator and the mirror. Right? My name is Miro. It's like I'm just showing people the best version of themselves. And so what happened with this woman? Like, I actually met her 10 years before, like when she first started having this dream, and she shared it with me, but she just didn't believe in herself enough to do anything about it. And so this woman is from Sudan, and if she's listening, big shout out. I'm super grateful for all of my clients, and I'm sure she gave me permission to share this, but I will keep her anonymous anyway. And so essentially, we talked for 20 minutes, and she's telling me she's reading all the self-help books. She's feeling a little bit lost, needing a little bit of direction. She's working a 9-to-5 job as a receptionist, and but she's this strong struggle. She's grown up with the struggle, and the struggle was that she's being really dark skinned. A lot of Sudanese people are in heavy brown skin, even more so than me when I was in Germany, and I experienced this too. And so she felt that there was this big separation in the media, where when brown people are being displayed, or black people, there's just this like that are being given. Like when Hurricane Katrina happened, and brown people were being shown, or black people were being shown, it was criminals looting, and if white people were doing the same thing, it was suddenly it was just like, hey, these people are starving and they need help. And so this framing and positioning was something that just drove her. And so she actually studied journalism because she wanted to break down these barriers, but then she ended up getting off of her path and not doing anything with that. And so when she's telling me, we're on a call, she's like, I just want to create this from like, I don't know what to do with my life. She was like, I kind of want to do this documentary. And I showed her, you told me about this documentary 10 years ago, and the chances are 10 years from now, you're still going to want to do something about this. And so now started this fire in her belly, thinking about all the women and all the people who still being viewed as different more than alike, as dangerous more than loving beings in the world. And so now, like, she's this powerful message, her own story that's finally coming through, that she's opening up about, that it's starting to form the worldviews of others. And she's on a path to making a difference in media and creating a documentary in the process, so that the worldviews can change and people can be more kind and open and ask questions. And so, like, that's the thing. Like, a lot of entrepreneurs, like, so this is just something, when we shared that call, like, there was tears, it was just a powerful experience. And now she's on her way and being held accountable through a process that's really, like, she's a leader, and I think we all have that position if we choose it. And Jessica Rachel's on, like, love working with her. She's an amazing person too. But so that's kind of the story. And I know for a fact that there's going to be many people that are going to and see the results of what she's creating in the world, because she got clear on her why. And she's got the support to launch into it, even when self-doubt holds her back sometimes. It's like that bamboo sprout. It's going to pop up.
Yeah, and that's so true. So when a person has like that epiphany or that reminder that, oh my God, there was that dream that was buried for so long, and now I'm ready to bring it out, and they get really excited, right? So what happens is they get really excited and they go down the road, and then eventually maybe their excitement starts to wane a little bit. So how do you bring them back into that excitement so that they keep going forward? Because I think, just as humans, it's a natural thing for us if we're not hanging around the right people, maybe, I don't know. So how do you bring people back to that?
Such a powerful point you're bringing out, Linda, because this happens to a lot of people, especially people starting out. Like, a lot of people who want to break out of corporate, want to start a business, and they just kind of take the first thing that becomes available. They see an ad and maybe start a marketing agency. That was my route. It was like, or like an e-commerce thing or whatever. And then they just shine. Like, we're like, oh, that didn't work. Let me do this over here. And that's because they never got clear on their purpose. And once we are clear on our purpose and have developed a powerful why, what's magical is getting in touch with your why on a daily basis. Like, I just remembering, like, sometimes it's a person, sometimes there's a who behind the why, that if you can change that person's life or find somebody like them that experience the pain that you've gone through, that's when it's so worth it. And it's not important if I don't feel like getting up today. It's not important, because if I can make a difference for that other person, it's all worth it. Another thing I want to say about that, Linda, is self-sabotage is a beast, When, like, a lot of people are now setting strong intentions for 2019, right? And maybe it's requiring them to become a new version of themselves that that hasn't existed before. Well, what happens is there's internal unconscious stuff in our past selves, our inner child spirit. There's stuff going on, and we can start habits and actions that are actually taking us away from that. And so there's some, like, deep inner work that I go through with my clients right now to overcome self-sabotage on the path to achieving your goals. And if you don't become aware of just exactly how you're sabotaging yourselves, then that's going to be bound to keep holding people back over and over and over again. It's kind of like, you probably have seen this, people set an intention to, lose weight and have a new diet. But as soon as they do that, then they still find themselves automatically going to the fridge and opening it up and going, why am I even here? I don't know, right? Or, like, I've done this, like, you're waving. So I have done this too. Like, I have a powerful meeting, excited, and then I eat a big meal, like a huge amount of pasta, like the day before or like a couple of hours before, and then, like, pass out and sleep through it, because, like, my unconscious is just like, we're not ready for all of this success yet, So that's the fear of failure and the fear of success. Everything can come together when we set powerful intentions, and working with someone to really understand the forces that are in play that are holding people back it's been just game, for myself and for my clients. Okay, you're on mute, Linda. I can hear you.
That's why I muted myself, because when I type, it kind of sounds a little bit loud. But there's this saying that I absolutely love, and it's be it until you become it, because you must like. There's also these sayings of fake it till you make it, which I don't believe in that one, because I don't believe in faking things. But if you can actually be it, whatever it is that you want to be, until you become it. So I'll share a really quick story. I remember this one day I was speaking to at an event, and there were like 50 women in the audience, and I came out and I was like, I don't do scripted. I just do whatever I'm thinking at the moment. And so I came out in the audience and I was talking about basically the be it till you become it kind of thing. And I shared how I love Ellen DeGeneres. I think she's awesome. She's funny. Her show is great. And I want to have my own talk show, right? This is a couple of years ago. And so I came out and I said, so I'm going to pay attention to everything that Ellen is doing, and I'm going to become Ellen DeGeneres. That was my whole thing at that time. But I realized is that by me saying, this is this person I want to emulate, this is the person I want to be like, that I just need to pay attention to what they're doing and then start emulating it. Not like the movie Single White Female, not like that movie, because I'm wasn't going to go and try to murder her or anything like that. But it's about finding that person that you really, really look up to, and someone that when you see them, you're like, wow, that person is incredible. I wish I was like them, or I wish I were that person. Just do what you have to do to become like that person. So be it until you actually become that person. So now what's happened is I've become the person I want to be. It's not that I became Ellen DeGeneres. It's not that I became like her, but I put myself on a path to become somebody like her, somebody that I can look up to. So now, because, I had imposter syndrome, I had self-sabotage, I had all that stuff. But now I actually look at myself, I'm like, wow, I can kind of look up to myself now. I'm proud of myself. I worked hard to get to where I am today, to be the person I am, to be the person I want to be. It's hard work. It doesn't just happen overnight. It's hard work. But if you want something, you really got to put yourself out there to be it. So be it till you become it.
Boom. I love that. And I think and Jessica's making a comment, embodiment is vital.
Yep.
Absolutely. So it's self-mastery. And this is really the path too that I've realized. What you work on your internals, who you're becoming, leveling up your character, is always going to be in proportion to the results you're creating on the outside. I think that's been a big shift for people working in corporate that are breaking out. In school, even you're taught to work on your homework, right? Work on the grades and work on these things. But truly, it's when you work on your character and who you're being, in every, that's when you start seeing the shifts in your life. And I want to share this story because this brings up being yourself and not faking it, but really being that person. So. Mm-hmm. Have you heard of the story of the pheasant and the bull?
No.
Okay, so this is something...
It sounds like an unfair fight.
It's not a fight. So the pheasant and the bull, they have this symbiotic relationship. They're friends, right? They're standing in a field by a tree, and the pheasant eats the mosquitoes and flies off of the bull's back, and the bull keeps the pheasant safe, right?
Okay.
And so they have this friendship, and it just works. And one day the pheasant goes, I remember when I was younger, I could the second branch of this tree, and now I can't even reach the first branch. And so the bull says, so what's the problem? We're happy, right? The pheasant goes, no, I want to be able to go up there. And so the bull says, oh, you want to go up there? No problem. Just do this for 10 days. Eat my dung, right? Eat 10 days, and you'll be able to fly to the top of the tree. Okay. And so the pheasant goes hesitantly, okay, so you want me to eat your dung? Yeah, right? You want me to eat your dung? All right, that's gross, but all right, I want to get to the top of the tree. So the pheasant complies. After a couple of days, he's eating the dung, and he's flying to the first branch. A few days later, he's flying to that second branch. At the end of 10 days, the pheasant flies to the top of the tree. A farmer comes and shoots the pheasant down, right? Oh. And the moral of the story, Linda, is that bullshit will get you to the top, but it won't keep you there.
I love that. I'll try to remember that one because that's a fun one.
Yeah, supposed to do that. And this is why self-mastery is so important. You know, you can fake it all day and like achieve great success, but if you're unfulfilled inside and you're not actually becoming the character that can accomplish these things, then it's not going to last, and it's going to pull you right down.
Yeah, and it's so true, right? Because the fake it till you make it is inauthentic, in my opinion. And I think authenticity, even though it's kind of like become like a buzzword, today and stuff, but authenticity is still authenticity, bottom line. And so this was an interesting thing for me is I didn't realize that I was inauthentic until I became authentic. And so what I mean by that is that I had lived the majority of my life as a people pleaser because I grew up in an abusive alcoholic household. And so if anything, if I did anything wrong, then somebody would get hurt. And that was the environment I grew up in. And so because of that, I was always like walking on eggshells, always wanting to make sure that everybody was happy. Just that was how I lived my life because that was what I grew up in. And so when I turned 51, I hired a life coach and she helped me to discover who I am. That took a long time for me to actually discover, what does Linda like? What does Linda hate? What is Linda? I kept asking myself these questions. What is Linda this? Because I wanted to discover who I was. So once I discovered who I was, now I was able to start living my life authentically. So who you see here is the same person you're going to see, whether I'm talking to some kind of stars or whether I'm talking on a video, whether I'm just having a conversation one-on-one with my husband. This is me. And so it took a while to become me because I didn't know who me was. And so once I discovered that, it's like now I can live my life authentically because now I know what authenticity really is. So it's not just a buzzword. It's really like, who are you? And then when you discover who you are, be that person wherever you are and with whoever you're with, because when you're authentic, you'll attract to you, like you were saying, we attract to us who wants to be with us. So if I'm being a fake person, I'm attracting to me people who like that fake person. If I'm real and honest and authentic, then I'm attracting to me people who want to be with this real, honest, authentic person. So it's an amazing, amazing journey. But,
so good, Linda. So good, Linda. And I know we're coming close to the time, but just with this one piece that you're saying, I want to invite our listeners and your audience to discover themselves. And there's a powerful tool I want to share. And
okay.
It's a powerful question. What's trying to come through me right now? So just like meditating on it, and then just really journaling. I've done this once, and it's amazing that the next version of you that's truly intrinsic motivation is just going to be unleashed by just asking yourself, what's trying to come through me right now?
Okay, so I'm typing that up. That's a long one for me to type. So hold on a second there.
I'm surprised. I'll share this. I've done this myself, and what came through me is speaking on stages. I saw myself traveling and doing transformation in groups. So now, I'm creating this group experience and going to live events, and I see how people are tuning. Hey, Alfredo, and so yeah, so it's powerful what's possible when you allow yourself to just allow that person to emerge that's already within you.
Yeah. And so what are your dreams? Like, what are the dreams that you have that you've put on the shelf? And, maybe just hop on a call with Miro. Again, go to livinglive.tv/Miro. Hop on a call with him. Maybe he'll, help you to unleash whatever that dream is and help to get you on that path. Again, it's livinglive.tv/Miro. Set up a 30-minute session with him. This is, Miro with Manifest X. And let's see, we've got on here, Patty was trying to come through. Yep, that's right. You asked that question, Patty. Awesome. Jessica says, let me see. Oh, everything. That's everything, Linda. Love that. Awesome. Well, you guys really enjoyed having you here. Miro, you want to go ahead and send us off? Wait, Patty's got loving joy right at this moment is coming through me. Yes, Patty. I think loving joy is always coming through you, Patty. You're amazing. So why don't you share with us like one of the biggest tips that you can give us that can help anybody who may feel like they're stuck right now and they're not sure exactly like what step they need to take in order to achieve that dream and turn their dreams into their reality.
Absolutely. And it's so important to have somebody to really support your dreams and believe in you. And, of course, reach out to me and just surround yourself with people that if you share your deepest secrets and dreams and hopes, that they're going to be supportive and have that partner to talk to. And that's been like my coach has, been able to break me out of a job, a entire life situation that wasn't authentically me. And that's just changed my life. So, hop on a call with me. Let's have a conversation and seek that support in your life.
Definitely. So let's see here. What am I doing? Oh, what I do wrong here? I can't figure out how to bring you back. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. Yes. Hop on a call with Miro. Go to livinglive.tv/Miro. And then you guys, so one of my dreams, Miro, and I didn't share this with you yet, but one of my dreams was to have my own talk show. And so I've created a talk show. It's called Talk O Tuesday. And I'm so excited. So, I mentioned Ellen DeGeneres, right? So I love Ellen DeGeneres and Oprah Winfrey, and I just love that they have their own shows. And so about 2 years ago, I had a dream that I was going to create my own show. Originally, the dream was to be on their shows. And I thought, wait a minute, I want to have my own show. Why do I want to limit myself to just being on someone's show? And so it's this dream that I've had for about 2 years is now becoming a reality. Starting January 8th of 2019, I launched my show, Talk O Tuesday. It's a talk show, and we will be providing fun, positive, and uplifting content. Our first show is, I'll show it. Let's see, I have it here. Our first show is January 8th, where we're talking about near-death experiences. Now, you talked about near-death experiences. And so we will be on January 8th talking about near-death experience. It's going to be a really, really exciting show. I met a couple people who have some just amazing, incredible stories. I'm going to share them with you guys. So go on to talkotuesday.tv. Oh, I have to put everything up there. Never mind. I'm not ready for you to go over there yet, but I will be soon. So I have all these ideas, right? And the thing is, like, it's, you have to take action. It doesn't matter how amazing your dream is. If it's just sitting in your head, in order to turn your dream into your reality, you have to actually move into motion and take action to make it happen. So when I had this dream about Taco Tuesday, it sat on the shelf for about 1.5 years before I actually started moving it into action. But now it's happening. It's happening. So how many dreams do you have that you want to turn into your realities? Again, I want you to get on a call with Miro. Go to livinglive.tv/Miro, make an appointment with him. And you guys, want to thank you so much for tuning in live. And for those who are watching the replay, go ahead and type #replay. And Miro, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. And you guys all have a great day. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, Linda. That's been amazing. I'll be definitely tuning in and supporting your dream. I'd say everybody should be supporting everyone's dream.
Yeah.
Bringing them to life. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.